According to publicly available information, Grok is presented as a free AI assistant developed by X AI, with optional paid features. On X, users can tag it under posts to get reactions, explanations, or added context. It's often used as a sort of commentator on other people's content. More broadly, Grok is marketed as an AI chatbot comparable to ChatGPT, with real-time access to X data, a deliberately provocative tone, and capabilities ranging from answering questions to writing text, debugging code, and even functioning as a voice assistant in Tesla vehicles. However, the reason most people are now hearing about Grok has nothing to do with productivity or innovation. It's because users on X have been using it to generate sexualized images by digitally removing clothing from photos of women and, disturbingly, children. I think most of us feel the same way about this. Disgusted, but unfortunately not surprised. At this point, almost every new AI scandal follows the same pattern. People warned about it, were dismissed, and now that it's happening in real time, we're expected to act shocked. What makes this situation particularly alarming is that these images are being created and shared on a platform where Elon Musk himself has direct control. Yet the responses so far have been weak and dismissive. A vague, "please don't do this," is not a serious attempt at addressing a problem of this magnitude. There appears to be no meaningful effort to prevent the abuse before it happens, only half-hearted reactions once the damage is already done. I've spoken about AI misuse before, and one of the most common responses I get, mostly from men, is, "Why do you care? Why care about AI-generated images? Why care if someone uses AI to make fake naked images of you?" I've had men message me directly, telling me they've been sexually aroused by deepfake images of me. Some even seem to enjoy the idea that there's nothing I can do about it. While I'm an adult, and I've tried to emotionally process this reality, that doesn't make it any less disturbing. There are nights where it genuinely weighs on me, advocating against objectification, only to have people mock that by creating or consuming images of you without consent. And this is especially damaging for survivors of sexual violence. For anyone who has already experienced a loss of bodily autonomy, something like this reinforces those same feelings of violation and powerlessness. The fact that legal options are limited, expensive, and slow only makes it worse. Recent reporting has highlighted how women have felt degraded and humiliated after Grok was used to generate explicit images of them without permission. In some cases, users altered bodies in extreme, exaggerated ways, placing women into overtly sexualized scenarios. One woman described receiving over 100 manipulated images of herself in a single week. That is not harmless. That is psychological harm. Even more concerning are reports that similar tools have been used to create sexualized images involving children. Let's be very clear here. The fact that these images are AI-generated does not make this acceptable or less serious. This is still child sexual abuse material. The idea that it's somehow different because it isn't a real photograph is dangerously ignorant. X has stated that illegal content will be removed and accounts suspended, but let's be honest, that response is completely inadequate. We already know illegal content exists on the platform in large quantities. Saying it's illegal, so don't do it, while providing a tool that enables it in the first place, is not accountability. Other AI systems actively block prompts involving nudity, sexualization, or identifiable individuals. So why was this one allowed to function this way at all? I genuinely cannot understand how anyone is comfortable attaching their name to technology that enables the sexual exploitation of women and children. This is not a minor oversight. This is a systemic failure. And where are all the people who constantly shout about protecting children? Where is that energy now? Because this is exactly what an epidemic of child exploitation looks like in the digital age. Dismissing it because it's not real only proves a complete lack of understanding of harm. This also brings me to a point about children and online safety. I'm not a parent, but that doesn't disqualify me from having an opinion. At this stage, if you are still publicly posting identifiable images of your children online, you are exposing them to real risk. You may think, it won't happen to my child, but parenting should be about minimizing risk, not gambling with it. At the very least, blur faces. Or better yet, don't post them at all. Another argument I constantly hear is, If you don't want this to happen, don't post your face online. That logic is absurd. It's pure victim blaming. By that reasoning, actors, journalists, presenters, and anyone with a public facing job would be consenting to any form of abuse simply by existing online. That mindset is deeply concerning. This issue goes far beyond individual discomfort. It's about autonomy, consent, and the direction we are heading in as a society. We are still in the early stages of AI development, and we are already seeing consequences this severe. Banning users after the fact does nothing for those who have already been violated. I've also seen suggestions that people should generate explicit AI images of powerful men to teach them a lesson. I understand the anger, but responding with the same abuse doesn't fix the problem. It just normalizes it further. Lastly, to those claiming that women are asking to be undressed by AI themselves, you have no way of knowing who is behind those prompts. Impersonation is easy, and consent cannot be assumed. And even in cases where someone willingly participates, it does not justify or normalize harm done to others who did not consent. This is not harmless fun. This is not inevitable progress. This is a serious ethical failure. And the lack of urgency from those in power speaks volumes about whose safety actually matters. Thank you for listening.